It's a rivalry that dates all the way back to their days in the NFC West, and today it's the 6-1 Falcons, fresh off a win in Arizona, looking to take firm control of the NFC South lead as they take on Jacoby Brissett and the 4-2-1 New Orleans Saints. First quarter, still no score. Saints at midfield where Brissett is throwing plenty of time and fires deep downfield, but it's overthrown and intercepted by Isaiah Oliver. He brings it out to avoid a potential safety, and Atlanta takes over on Oliver's first pick of the year. 2 plays later and the chains are moving as the counter goes to Devontae Freeman for 8 yards on a Falcons first down. Then facing 3rd and 1, it's back to Freeman for another 4 yards to keep the drive alive. 2nd and inches now, and Ray Gilbert drops the throw and hits Calvin Ridley for 12 yards on a first down across midfield. Next play, and Gilbert's looking to throw again, but drifts back and is thrown to the turf by Marcus Davenport for the sack. That leads to an Atlanta punt where Connor Blumberg gets the kick away, but contact after the kick results in roughing the kicker and a Falcons first down. So new life for Atlanta, and on the following play, it's a jet sweep to McCole Hardman, who has another first down and 17 yards to the Saints 20. Then on the following play, Gilbert throwing and goes short to Devontae Freeman, who has no interest in the pass, and Marshawn Lattimore picks it off, and yet another Ray Gilbert interception takes potential Falcons points off the board. Second quarter now, still no score, and Atlanta near midfield where Gilbert has Austin Traylor wide open, but he drops the pass, leading to a Falcons punt. So Saints take over, and on their second play, Brissett hits Lil Jordan Humphrey, who somehow stays in bounds, picking up 15 yards on the first down. Next play, and Brissett looks to throw again, and this time he finds Traquan Smith for 24 yards on a first down into Atlanta territory. Then facing 3rd and 3 from the 34, Brissett throwing and has Tyrone Sharp for 12 yards to convert. 3 plays later, 3rd down again where Brissett looks to throw and fires deep to the end zone, but it's over everybody and out of bounds, incomplete. Daniel Carlson comes on and nails the 38-yard field goal, and with 8:21 before half, there's finally points on the board as New Orleans takes a 3-0 lead. Ensuing drive and more struggles for the Falcon offense, where on first down, Gilbert fakes and throws the ball away. Flag comes out, and it's intentional grounding and a 12-yard loss. Then 2 plays later, 3rd and 22, where Gilbert drifts back and gets swarmed by the Saints defensive line as Cam Jordan takes him down for the sack and forces another Atlanta punt. First play for the Saints, and they're right back in Falcon territory as Brissett fakes and goes short to Austin Seferian-Jenkins, who jukes one defender and then runs through Deion Jones to pick up the first down. 3 plays later, after another Saints first down, and the give goes to Latavius Murray, who has a huge hole, gets hit hard, and the ball comes out, but the Saints pick it up, and Lil Jordan Humphrey is going to take it in for the score, and what looked like a potential turnover turns into a 10-0 Saints lead. Falcons turn again, and facing 3rd and 8, Ray Gilbert throws Calvin Ridley in front of a bus, and he can't hang on, so the Falcons punt it away again. Saints looking for more points before half, and Brissett finds Michael Thomas over the middle for 15 yards across midfield. 3rd down now, Brissett throwing again and goes back to Thomas, who has the catch but goes out of bounds shy of the marker, and on 4th and 1, it's Daniel Carlson, who has A as in accuracy but also B as in bouncing off the crossbar, and the kick is no good, and Atlanta takes over near midfield. And facing 3rd down out of the 2-minute warning, Gilbert hits Casey Rivers over the middle for 14 yards to convert. 3 plays later, 3rd down again, and Gilbert stands in and delivers a strike to McCole Hardman for 17 yards to keep the drive alive. Next play, Gilbert looking to throw again, and he's got Kyle Woods, who has another 10 yards down inside the 5 to make it 1st and goal. Then on the next play, it's a touch pass to Casey Rivers, who has a lane but runs into a wall at the goal line and doesn't get in. So on the following play, it's a give to Jordan Buggs, who smashes his way into the end zone, and with 19 seconds before half, the Falcons are finally on the board as they cut the Saints lead to 10-7. Atlanta gets it to start the second half, but the offense still struggling as Gilbert fakes and Sheldon Rankins throws him down for a sack that leads to a Falcons punt. So Saints turn now and facing 3rd and 6, where Brissett looks to throw and wants Tyrone Sharp, but Keanu Neal picks it off, and he's got nothing but green turf in front of him. It's another pick 6 for Neal, and all of a sudden Atlanta has taken a 14-10 lead. Saints looking to answer, and their second play is Latavius Murray right up the middle for 8 yards on a first down. 4 plays later, Saints across midfield, and it's Murray catching the screen and moving the chains again as he picks up another 8 yards on the first down catch. Then with 3rd and 2 from the 30, the give goes to Murray, who gets bottled up and is not going to reach the first down marker, and the Saints were born without Neanderthal nuggets, so they send out Daniel Carlson, who puts the 46-yard field goal through the uprights and cuts the Falcons' lead to 1. So the Falcons offense with the lead for the first time, and their first play is Devontae Freeman picking up 10 yards on a first down. Next play, it's right back to Freeman, who takes it off the left side, and he's going to have 11 more yards and another Falcons first down. Next play again, and the Atlanta offense clicking as Gilbert fakes and fires to Austin Hooper for 16 more. Then facing 3rd and 2, Devontae Freeman turns it into 1st and 10 as he picks up 9 down to the Saints 21. 2 plays later, Gilbert throwing, drifts back, and it's Freeman through the air this time, picking up 10 yards and another fresh set of downs. And that leads to 2nd and 2 from the 3, where it's the touch pass to Casey Rivers again, who will find the end zone this time, and his first career touchdown catch gives Atlanta an 8-point lead. 4th quarter now, Falcons back with the ball and facing 3rd and 10, where Gilbert fires to Austin Hooper for a 33-yard gain into New Orleans territory. Next play, and the chains move again as Casey Rivers takes the give and has 10 more and another first down. 2 plays later, Gilbert with the play fake, and he's going to lay his pass right on the money to Austin Hooper for 24 yards down to the Saints 13. Then facing 3rd and 11, Gilbert throwing again, but no time as Cameron Jordan flattens him for the sack. Roland Ford comes on, and the Falcons have to settle for a 38-yard field goal that pushes their lead to 11 with 10:57 to go. Saints need to answer, and on their first play, Brissett has plenty of time and goes to Tyrone Sharp, who comes down with a 20-yard catch near midfield. Next play, and it's more big yardage as this time it's Brissett to Austin Seferian-Jenkins for 26 yards down inside the Falcons 30. 3 plays later, 3rd and 3, where Brissett goes right back to Seferian-Jenkins, who runs through a tackle and is into the end zone for a 21-yard score. Saints going for 2 to make it a 3-point game, but Deion Jones destroys Latavius Murray, and the pass falls incomplete. Ensuing drive and facing 3rd and 2, the Falcons convert as Casey Rivers picks up 12 yards right to midfield. Then with 3rd down again, Gilbert throwing, but Sheldon Rankins blows through Chris Lindstrom to drop him for the sack, and Atlanta punts it away. So New Orleans can take the lead, and on their first play, Brissett connects with Michael Thomas for 23 yards and a first down. 3 plays later, Brissett throwing again, but Lorenzo McManus busts through to throw him down for the sack, and the 7-yard loss leads to a Saints punt as they trail by 5 with under 4 minutes to go. First play for Atlanta and move those chains as Devontae Freeman takes the toss and pinballs his way to 10 yards on the first down. But 3 plays later, Sheldon Rankins in for another sack to force a Falcons punt. After holding makes it 2nd and 20 for New Orleans, Brissett's throwing and has Michael Thomas for 7 yards. Saints hurry to the line, Brissett throwing again, and with plenty of time before he finds Latavius Murray over the middle for 21 yards on 3rd and 13. 2 plays later, Brissett throwing, and once again great protection as he stands in before throwing out to Deontay Foreman, who has the pass bounce off his hands and then makes the catch for a 7-yard gain. Clock still running, Saints rush to the line, Brissett throwing again where he stands in and fires deep to the end zone, and Deontay Foreman, who again makes the catch for a 48-yard touchdown. And with just 24 seconds to go, the Saints have taken a 1-point lead. And looking to make it 3, the Saints go for 2, but Brissett's pass is off the mark, incomplete, and the lead remains at 1. Ensuing kickoff, and it's a short kick to the 11, and Marcus Green returns it 22 yards out to the Falcons' 34-yard line. So 20 seconds left, Gilbert throwing and fires to McCole Hardman, who has the catch but can't get out of bounds. Falcons use their last timeout, and on the following play, Gilbert throwing, steps up, and he's got Calvin Ridley wide open for 18 yards and out of bounds at the Saints' 33 and well within Roland Ford field goal range. New Orleans tries to ice him, but you can't ice what's already cold blooded as the Roland Ford kick is good. And the Falcons, left for dead with 20 seconds to go, perform the Heimlich and avoid choking away an 11-point 4th quarter lead and move to 7-1 on the year. Ray Gilbert throws the early interception but engineers a 2-play 33-yard drive to put Roland Ford in position to hit the game-winning field goal, and it's on to Miami next week for a Week 9 matchup with the Dolphins. All right, guys, so we get a nice win there after pretty much choking the game away, but we get into field goal range in 2 plays, make the field goal after being iced, and walk out with a big division win that gives us pretty firm control of first place at the halfway point of the season. We only had 1 negotiation this week, and we withdrew negotiations with cornerback Ryan Neal. As I've mentioned multiple times this season, cornerback is going to be a position that I'm looking to improve, and Neal really doesn't play, isn't that great of a player, and only has normal dev, so hopefully taking his spot next year will be a significantly better player. Moving on to the draft board additions for the week, it starts with middle linebacker Noah Lindstrom, who is a first-round projection as well as true talent. Then following him is a pair of left tackles in Nathan Weatherford, who is a first-round true talent, and Casey Archibald, who is a second-round true talent. And then lastly here for team activities, as always, is player upgrades, where we start with Keanu Neal, who's having a really good year and reaches a 91 overall with 1 point increases to his awareness, jumping, play rec, and press, and a 2-point increase to his tackle rating. Next up is wide receiver Calvin Ridley, who is now an 83 overall after receiving 2 points towards catching and +1s to awareness, catch in traffic, medium route running, release, and spectacular catch. Following him was linebacker Foye Oluwakin, who reaches a 73 overall with a +2 upgrade to awareness, along with +1s to both play rec and zone coverage. Then we have defensive tackle Deidrin Sennett, who becomes a 72 overall with a 1-point increase to agility and 2-point increases to both block shedding and play rec. Second-year safety Donovan Culver sadly exits the 69 club after receiving a 3-point upgrade to his awareness and 1-point increases to his pursuit and tackle. Fellow backup safety Corey Yates, however, is now knocking at the door of the 69 club after getting 1 point to awareness and zone coverage, and also goes up 3 points on tackle. Backup quarterback and soon-to-be free agent Brett Hundley goes up to a 66 overall this week, increasing his awareness by 2 points and both his deep and short accuracy by 1. And finally, last here is linebacker Jermaine Grace, who goes up to a 64 overall with a 2-point increase to man coverage and 1-point increases to his awareness and zone coverage. Time to go around the league, where Week 8 kicked off with the Panthers beating the Vikings 28-21. Giants beat the Raiders, Bengals take down the Steelers, and the Bucks win 31-21 against the Eagles. Texans win 31-17, Patriots handle the Dolphins, and the Titans squeak by the Bills. Beats lose to the Broncos, 49ers win 28-10 against the Lions, and the Seahawks hammer the Rams. Then on Sunday night, the Ravens beat the Packers 21-14, and on Monday night, the Cowboys pick up a 45-21 win over Washington. Looking at the standings, the Patriots are starting to run away with the AFC East, leading the way at 6-2 with the 3-3-1 Jets, 4-4 Dolphins, and 1-5-1 Bills all laying chase. Browns take the week off and remain in first place of the North at 6-1. Ravens win to pull themselves within 2 games, while the 4-4 Bengals are 2.5 back, and the 2-6 Steelers are 4.5 back. Leading the South is Jacksonville at 5-2, but only by a game over the 4-3 Titans. 4-3-1 Texans sit in third place, while the 3-4 Colts are in last place and 2 games back of first. The Broncos win over the Beats gives them firm control of the West lead at 6-1, with the Beats and Chiefs now tied for second place at 4-3, and then sitting in last is who else but the Las Vegas Raiders of Oakland. On to the NFC side, the 5-2 Cowboys lead the East by 1 game over the 4-3 Giants, and sitting behind them are the 2-6 Eagles and 1-6 Redskins, whose playoff hopes appear to be pretty much over. The Vikings are the only team over 500 in the North and are 2 games ahead of the 3-4 Bears. Then sitting below Chicago are the Packers and Lions, who are a combined 1-13 on the year. With the win, we move to 7-1 and have a 2.5 game lead over both the Panthers and Saints. Meanwhile, in last place, the Buccaneers get their first win of the year and are now 1-7. Then wrapping up with the NFC West, the Seahawks beat the Rams to hold sole possession of first place, while the Rams and Niners are both tied for second, with the Cardinals a game back of both. This week's AFC Offensive Player of the Week award goes to Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota. The former Oregon Duck completed 31 of his 40 passes for 360 yards and found the end zone 4 times through the air as he helped lead Tennessee to a 31-28 win at Buffalo. As for the NFC, it was the man taken 1 spot ahead of him in the 2015 draft in Jameis Winston. The Tampa Bay quarterback was 26 of 28 passing for 306 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air, while also adding another score on the ground to lead the Bucs to their first win of season 3 against Philadelphia. Defensively, the AFC award goes to another second overall pick in the Broncos' Von Miller. The reigning sack champion found himself in on 11 tackles with 3 going for a loss, and also dropped our former quarterback Matt Ryan for a sack. Miller's big day helped the Broncos defend home turf and get a big 27-21 overtime win against the Beats. And then on the NFC side, it's an Atlanta Falcon taking home the award for the second week in a row as Keanu Neal takes it home this week. The former first-rounder made 8 tackles, had 1 pass deflection, a forced fumble that resulted in a touchdown for the Saints, as well as an interception that he returned 29 yards for a touchdown for the Falcons, as we came away with a thrilling 27-25 win. The passing leaders this week start with our own Ray Gilbert, who despite all the interceptions has a league-best 2,419 yards passing. Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson takes the passing touchdowns lead with 21 from Baker Mayfield, who still leads the way with a 131.8 passer rating. The rushing leaders start and end with Saquon Barkley, who leads the league with 946 rushing yards at a 7.8 yards per carry clip. And then a new face enters the picture as Steelers running back James Conner takes the rushing touchdowns lead from our rookie running back Casey Rivers. On to the receiving leaders that also see a bit of a shakeup as Adam Humphries takes the receptions lead with 48 catches and continues to lead in receiving yards with 773. And then former Chiefs and Dolphins wide receiver and current Redskin Albert Wilson takes the touchdown receptions lead with 7. Then wrapping up with the defensive leaders, our own Deion Jones has a league-high 72 tackles. The Browns' Myles Garrett continues to be the sack leader with 10.5. And then with another interception this week, NFC Defensive Player of the Week Keanu Neal is tied for the top spot with 4 interceptions. Looking ahead to the Week 9 schedule, it's the 0-7 Lions looking for their first win of the year in Minnesota. Rams head to Chicago to face the Bears. Panthers head to the nation's capital, and the 4-3 Chiefs play host to the last place 2-5 Raiders. Browns take their 6-1 record on the road to Brooklyn. The 5-2 Cowboys take on the 4-3 Giants for first place in the NFC East. We head to Miami before the bye week and look to move to 8-1 against the Dolphins, and the 5-2 Seahawks travel across the country to face 5-2 Jacksonville. The Titans head to Indianapolis in AFC South action. Ravens head on the road to Mile High to face the Broncos. Saints head up to New England to face the 6-2 Patriots. And on Sunday night, it's the 4-3 49ers heading to Lambeau to take on the 1-6 Packers. And wrapping up the week on Monday night is the Jets heading to Orchard Park to face the Bills. Cardinals, Bengals, Texans, Eagles, Steelers, and Buccaneers all with Week 9 byes. But that's going to do it. Big win today as we escape the fourth quarter choke and move to 7-1 at the halfway point of the season. Next video, we're on to Miami to face the Dolphins. So hope to see you guys back for that. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in.